Welcome to Pingala's B2B EDI demo. My name is Medha Vash and I am an ISCS consultant working with Pingala. In this demo, we will showcase the solution to process the EDI messages both inbound and outbound using ISCS B2B Gateway. We'll also provide solution to convert flat file to XML and XML to flat file. Before moving forward, we will look what EDI messages are. EDI stands for Electronic Data Interchange. It is a standard electronic format for business documents like purchase order or invoices, which companies use to communicate between them. For example, EDI 850 contains detail of purchase order, which is usually sent to the vendor as the first step in the ordering process. Now let's see what IICS B2B provides to process these EDI messages. So B2B Gateway has set up an end-to-end processing and handling of EDI messages with partners. It provides pre-packaged EDI processing mapping that first validates the EDI and converts it to XML and vice versa. Then we can add backend mapping to process it further or move it from gateway document store to backend system. It also sends functional and technical acknowledgement, that is 997 files, to the partner. Let's look at the flow of both inbound and outbound process. So for inbound, the source file is the EDI file. Once the EDI file arrives, the inbuilt EDI processing mapping runs and it validates the EDI file and converts it into XML and places it at the document store. And then we can have custom process to backend mapping, which can further process these files and store it at the required location. Similarly, for the outbound process, first the custom backend mapping runs, which converts the source file to XML interface file, and then the inbuilt EDI processing mapping runs, which converts the XML to EDI and validates the EDI file. Now let's look at how we set up the partner in IICS. First, we need to provide the basic details like customer name, customer number, and the file type. If we select the file type as EDI X12, we need to provide the EDI X12 message interchange details. Like here we can see that what's the customer interchange qualifier, the customer interchange production ID, the organization interchange qualifier, and the organization interchange ID. Once these details are provided, we can go to the next tab where we can select the message type that we need for our process. So here we can see that we have selected the 810 invoice message type as well as 850 purchase order. We can also provide the version. So here you can see that the 810 version is 5030 and 850 version is 4010. And we can select the mode either production or test, and we can enable the status. Then we can also set up the outbound acknowledgement details if we want to send the functional acknowledgement 997, and we can also specify the location for those acknowledgements. Further, we can set up the inbound and the outbound details. In inbound, we first provide the connection details for the source. Further, we can add process to backend mapping, which runs when the partner is triggered. Similarly, for outbound, we provide target connection details, and under the processing tab, we provide message discovery mapping, which basically identifies the message type for the outbound, and the backend mapping, which processes the source file to convert it to XML. Now let's take a look at the dashboard provided by B2B. It basically gives an overview of all the event status, partners, message type, file types, etc. Further, we can check the detailed status of the event in the events monitor. Here we can see the partner name, the file name, as well as the message type, the group control number, event ID, status, and the acknowledgement. So in our demo, we are going to process 850 inbound and 810 outbound file. Let's check the inbound flow. So for the inbound flow, first the B2B inbuilt mapping will run, which will validate the EDI and convert it into XML interface file. And then the XML interface file will be picked by the mapping, the custom mapping that we have built, which basically flattens the file into CSV using a hierarchy parser. Looking at the outbound flow, so here first we'll receive the text file, which will be converted into XML by the mapping given below, which basically uses the hierarchy builder to build an XML from the TXT file, and then the inbuilt B2B mapping will convert that XML into EDI and validate it. Now let's start with the demo. We'll start with the inbound demo and then we'll show the outbound one. So for inbound, we can see that the source directory location is C B2B source B2B gateway lab files. And the source file is TS8504010. So let's check out these files. So this is the TS8504010 file. This is the EDI file which we are going to use for this demo. Let's run the inbound flow first. It says that partner inbound flow is in progress. We can check it in the monitor. Here we can see that the status is starting here. It will take 2 to 3 minutes to run the mapping. In the meantime, we can explore the dashboard. So this is the dashboard that is provided by Informatica B2B Gateway. So here we can check all the event status for the last 24 hours, the number of partners that has been set up, the file types that have been used for the setup. We can see that there is EDI X12, there is custom ISD. Even there is a list of message type that has been used. And this is number of partner events per partner. And these are the number of events for last 30 days. So in this flow, once this event is triggered, the inbound flow, the EDI will be converted into XML by the inbuilt mapping. And then this mapping will run, which will basically parse the EDI XML and create CSV out of that. The mapping is in the running status now. Yeah, you can see that this mapping is successful and the next inbound mapping is running right now, which basically converts XML to CSV. Yeah, so the mapping has run successfully. Now let's look at the output files. So here we can check these are the files that have been created right now. So let's check the header file. Yeah, so you can see here that we get all the header fields. We can check the details file too. So here we have got the quantities that we have mapped in the hierarchy parser. That's for the inbound one. Now let's trigger the outbound. So for outbound, this is the target directory. Let's check the source file for the outbound first. So let's see, this must be running right now. Yeah, it's starting. So let's check the source file in the meantime. So this is the source file for the outbound. This is the header file, and this is the details file. So firstly, the outbound mapping will run and convert the text file to XML, and then the inbuilt mapping will run, which will convert the XML to EDI. Also here we can see that this file has been processed for the inbound and the acknowledgement 997 has been sent. So we can check this acknowledgement at the following location. So here, this is the location for the acknowledgement file. This is the acknowledgement file that has been generated recently for the inbound file. This is the 997 file. Now let's check the status of the outbound flow. Yeah, here we can see that the outbound mapping has been triggered, which has basically converted TXT to XML. And after that, the customer Pingala has been triggered, which has converted the XML to EDI. Let's check the target EDI file, which has been created at the following location. Yeah, so here we can see this is the file which has been created recently. We'll open it with Notepad++. So this is the 810 file, EDI file, which is the output for the outbound flow. That's all for the demo. We would love to hear from you. You can reach out to us at these email IDs. Thank you.